FARGO, renowned for its captivating storytelling and unpredictable plot twists, once again delivered a mind-blowing moment in Season 5, Episode 4. Since its airing, this episode has been the talk of the town, concluding with a climactic ending that left fans both stunned and eagerly anticipating what's to come. Let's delve into the intricacies of this shocking twist and decipher its implications for the future of the series. Season 5 of FARGO upholds the show's legacy of intricate storytelling, complex characters, and a seamless blend of dark humor and drama. Episode 4, in particular, artfully builds tension, weaving together various storylines and setting the stage for a dramatic conclusion. In this week's episode of FARGO, the plot moves forward, albeit only a few miles instead of the full stretch. The conclusion leaves us with lingering questions about Ole's origin and identity, Roy Tilman's future plans, and Alstead's connection to L Range Dead Company. From a powerful opening to an equally gripping closing scene, let's delve into and dissect all that this episode has to offer. Join me as we recap and analyze FARGO Season 5, Episode 4, exploring the intricacies and revelations. Just a heads up, this video contains spoilers. The significance of the opening scene cannot be underestimated. It is evident that the scene draws heavy inspiration from the iconic movie Home Alone. The animated nature of the traps, designed to thwart intruders, mirrors the eccentricity of the movie. The blend of a haunted house atmosphere with a Halloween theme adds an intriguing twist, which I found quite enjoyable. This scene serves as a captivating introduction to the episode, especially considering the cliffhanger ending of the previous episode with Gator's arrival. It effectively sets the stage for Dorothy's journey and intensifies the suspicions surrounding her character. During the encounter, we witnessed her escape unharmed and even engage in a brief conversation with Gator, who had unveiled his mask. I found this to be a delightful touch, reminiscent of the moments of recognition that often occur in family reunions after a long time apart, even though it went unspoken. Her disappointment with Gator's transformation was palpable. The altercation culminated in the house igniting into flames, and Wayne being electrocuted by a booby trap near the windows. It was in this moment that I observed a different facet of Dorothy's character, one that revealed her willingness to manipulate those closest to her in order to ensure her own survival. She was the cause of Wayne's hospitalization, the destruction of their house, and the upheaval of his life. Yet, even in his delirious state, she persisted in manipulating him into accepting her fabricated story, showing no regard for the truth. This became most evident when he woke up and uttered the word "Nadan," to which she callously replied with a denial. Initially, I admired her character, but the selfishness she exudes is becoming increasingly pronounced. The people she claims to protect have a right to know the dangers they face. I believe that once Wayne recovers from his current state of laughter and incoherence, he will come to realize that the lack of honesty and the unfolding events he witnessed are something he cannot bear to live with. In addition to Wayne discovering Dorothy's true identity upon hearing the name Nadine, we witnessed the officers obtaining the footage of Dorothy at the gas station, where the intense confrontation with Dew took place. Despite the evidence, she stubbornly denied any involvement. Dorothy chooses to evade her past, living in denial, while Roy Tilman relentlessly pursues the truth, determined to confront it head-on. These opposing forces are now in motion, and only one will emerge victorious. Furthermore, another revelation in this episode linked directly to Dorothy. Her fingerprints were identified in the FBI database. This discovery likely means that the agents will soon approach Dorothy for questioning. Their objective is not only to expose and bring down Roy Tilman, but also to gather every possible piece of evidence. They seek to dismantle his reign instead of relying on the hope that he will lose the election and fade into obscurity, a scenario that seems unlikely to occur. In this episode, there was a captivating moment where Roy prayed, sharing a story of breaking into a house and encountering a person named Old Baylor Ma. This individual, responsible for the tragic loss of Roy's wife and children, sat there seemingly carefree. However, Roy noticed B-Lub whispering in the man's ear, guiding his actions. In that moment, Roy felt a sense of protection and sought the Lord's support in his current hour of need. It raises the question of whether Roy's prayer is a plea for forgiveness for the sins he's about to commit and the impending murders, or if he seeks divine protection against the threat posed by Ole Munch. With threats surrounding him from all sides, the FBI, the upcoming election, and potentially Dorothy, Roy's prayer becomes a rational response, as he truly finds himself in desperate circumstances. The FBI was also investigating Roy's involvement in the missing arms case. In the previous episode, we learned that he had been supplying weapons to his father-in-law, claiming it was an attempt to reclaim the country. These circumstances have further raised suspicions surrounding him. In the final part of this episode, the focus shifted to Roy's visit to Joshua's house. Joshua, previously depicted as abusive towards his wife, was the subject of Roy's scrutiny. Despite his earlier promise to check if Joshua had changed, Roy quickly realized that he remained the same. The sight of the woman's bruised wrist confirmed this. The previous episode had already seen Ole kill Officer Witt, leaving a clear threat to Roy to dissuade any further investigation into the officer's death. Roy, considering Joshua to be worthless, decided to eliminate him. His intention was to frame Joshua for the murder of the officer, exposing the depths of Roy's corruption. In an attempt to ensure Joshua's wife's cooperation, Roy offered her financial compensation, effectively keeping her under his control. This sequence of events served as a stark reminder that corruption and cover-ups were unstoppable forces in Roy's world. The situation involving Ole and the Dean has spiraled far beyond his wildest expectations, leaving him submerged in increasingly turbulent waters. It is evident that he is grappling with the magnitude of the predicament. The episode culminated with a poignant scene of him embarking on a contemplative ride, seeking solace and clarity. This glimpse into his vulnerability at that precise moment portrays the depth of his emotions. In this episode, Roy's character takes an intriguing turn when we learn that he has 3 wives, 2 of whom are missing. Among them is Nadine, but there remains a mysterious 3rd wife, only hinted at by a photo on the wall in the previous episode. The question arises, what happened to her? Did she flee like Nadine, or did something more sinister befall her? Roy's ability to instill fear in his partners, as demonstrated by his current wife, suggests a possible reason for Nadine's departure. As the episodes progress, we can anticipate further revelations about the missing wife, adding yet another challenge for Roy Tilman to confront. Personally, I suspect her fate may be tragic. Ole Munch's enigmatic segment left me perplexed. In this week's episode, Ole Munch had a brief appearance, primarily raising questions about his origin and identity. A particularly intriguing moment occurred when India inquired about any footage of the suspect, only to be met with the response, "Ghosts don't appear in photographs." This deliberately placed line compelled us to ponder Ole's enigmatic nature. The sole scene featuring Ole Munch depicted him in a bathtub, drenched in blood from a ritual he had performed. In a peculiar third-person narrative, he spoke of Munch's childhood, equating freedom to a potato and emphasizing the importance of survival. To secure his own freedom, he chose to eat before others and to kill before being killed. His sole desire was to possess the freedom to want, a privilege reserved for kings. This episode evoked memories of a centuries-old flashback from the previous episode, further reinforcing the connection. It served as a poignant portrayal of his past lifestyle. The flashback revealed Ole Munch as a destitute individual, scorned and ostracized by society, an existence befitting those circumstances of the era. The subsequent segment of his speech strongly resonated with the present day, specifically addressing how Roy Tilman mistreated him by not paying for his work and even attempting to have him killed. He conveyed, "Everywhere you turn, there are individuals who consider themselves kings. They claim ownership over everything they desire, and if they can't possess it, they argue that they are not truly free. They even feign that freedom should come without a price, without any consequences. But the truth is, the cost is always death." This statement not only reflects Roy's betrayal of their agreement, but also highlights Roy's misguided belief that he can reclaim Nadine as his own. Ole is proving to be an intriguing character, and I eagerly anticipate discovering more about him in the upcoming episodes. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode of the show. The dark tone of this season and the constant second-guessing adds an intriguing element. The direction of the story remains a mystery, which is something I genuinely appreciate. The episode maintained its strong momentum from start to finish, with parallel scenes unfolding on different sides, following both the victim and the antagonist. Additionally, the fact that this show consists of 10 episodes is commendable, as it allows for a more comprehensive storytelling experience. I eagerly await the next episode. The shocking twist in Season 5, Episode 4 of Fargo has once again proven why the series is a staple for viewers seeking intelligent and engaging television. As fans eagerly await the next episode, one thing is certain: Fargo will continue to surprise, entertain, and keep us guessing at every turn. The series remains a masterclass in storytelling, and this latest twist is yet another example of its brilliance. What are your thoughts on this episode of Fargo? Join the conversation and let us know in the comments. #FargoThrills. Comment your thoughts below, and also don't forget to subscribe. See you. Plot twists that keep us guessing.